Hi, so I'm Pat Quinn, and I would like to just take a couple moments to share a couple of tools that I utilized that I believe helped my success in completion of the Cornerstone Pathways IND 301 course. So, the first thing, it might seem kind of basic, but that's just having your organization on point. And one thing that I used to help organize myself a little bit more was to have a good bookmarks tab on my computer. So, this obviously helped me, be more efficient, and it helped me navigate through the tabs a little bit easier when I was going back and forth doing research for my final paper um, or anything like that. So the bookmarks that I specifically used, I'm just going to read them right off as I'm looking at them. So the Excelsior homepage, that's going to be a great tool that you can use to sign up for your next courses, obtain contact information for your counselor if you don't already have that. There's also the Canvas tab that I have. This is where you're going to be doing probably 95% of your work, or that's at least going to be the jumping off point for you. Every single day. You're going to go to the Canvas website, look through your course and the specific module that you may or may not be on. The next one was the library tab. So the library is where you're going to get all of your information for completing your final research paper and any other sort of research that you're going to have to conduct while performing or while working through this course. Um, there's a lot of great tools, particularly the search function is extremely advanced, and you can really search for anything that you want, extremely specifically. This is great for narrowing your research and finding um, things to support your points or your thesis. Also, Microsoft Office and PowerPoint, these were incredibly useful. Pretty much what I would recommend you do is for every single assignment, you just open up a Word document. I use the online Word version because it's free. You could pay for Word or Microsoft 365 if you want, but I don't really think that that's 100% necessary. Um, but anyway, it's just a great tool to use. It has word count, it checks your spelling, and the formatting transfers seamlessly um, for anything that you'd have to, be compatible with. Another great tool is the EBSCO website. Now, this is used in conjunction with the library to save your resources. You what you do is you make a project folder on the EBSCO website, and then you put your sources in that folder, and it's just a quick, one stop shop for finding everything that you need for that specific project. Another great thing that I used every single time was the cite feature. So there's just little quotation marks, and you click on them, and you can get the citing information that you need for your reference page, which is very important because you need to include your references. The last tab that I used was the OWL Online Writing Lab. I pretty much referenced this every single time that I had to make an in-text citation, just to make sure I was getting the format right. And it's a great tool, and you should use it. So the next most useful thing, it's actually probably more useful, that I can recommend is just setting a schedule. Now, the way that I did this was I sat down every Sunday and I looked ahead at what was going to be coming up throughout the course of the week, and kind of doing my best at estimating how long each assignment would take and factoring that into the time that I had available after work and doing other things that you need to do, like eat and shower and sleep. So that was pretty important, because this allowed me to work in free time, which obviously I love, because it's summer here and I like getting outside. I imagine most of you do too. So being able to work efficiently and get the things done that you need to get done when you need to get them done is very important for having a successful work life school balance.